Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and that's not talk about what sets I think will get made or the best sets necessarily, but I'm going to go through some of the sets that I think are actually pretty good, but I do not think have a chance getting made. Now, that's going to be for various reasons, so we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So first up, and this is for Series 8, and there's still voting going on through tomorrow afternoon, but first up, we'll go with the Medieval Town Defense. Now, this is a great set by Wilmer, and I think it's really good. I don't have any complaints about this set. The reason I don't think this gets built or picked is because it is so similar to the Lion Knight's Castle that Lego will just probably go a different way. This, even with this building on the side, I think it would pair amazingly with the Lion Knight's Castle. I think setting them next to each other, they would just look spectacular. So this is not a knock on this set, and this isn't a knock on any of these sets because they are great. I just think for what BDP is going to be doing and what they did maybe the last series, they're not going to pick something so similar to something they have currently on the market. So Wilmer, great job. I do like this set. I think some of the characters are cool with the wolf pack. And I think there's just a lot of storytelling going on, especially from the backside. I do really like this set, and I would absolutely buy 2 of them if it did get picked. But because it looks so similar to the Lion Knight's Castle in the sense that it does look like an extension of it, which other castles have been picked in the past, but I think Lego might be trying to go a different direction with some of their picks, if last series has anything to say. So that's my thought on this one. Next up, we have the Modern House. And again, great set, would absolutely buy. I think this would sell really well, go into a ton of people's cities. But I think with the release of the Twilight Cullen House, I think that Lego's not going to pick something, again, that is so similar in color and what it is trying to do. It is a house, it's black, it has brown on the exterior. I think this is better than the Cullen House. I do like this more. But because of the Cullen House, I don't think this gets picked. And this is, again, by Flying Fish, the Modern House. Great job. I just don't see it being picked because of the similarities, not because of its just build, because that looks amazing. The Advent Calendar by Bricks. I think this is a great idea. I think it's really cool. I put Lego ornaments and I've put Lego keychains and random stuff like that on my Christmas tree. So I would buy this because I would use it. The problem is Lego does stuff like this, and they do this stuff for Christmas, and they come out with their ornaments, and I think it's so similar in nature that Lego's not going to pick it. I like the idea of an Advent calendar, opening, each day up, and then you build it, and then you put it on the tree. Amazing idea. They have these characters. This almost looks like, what's his name? Hermie? I don't know. From Rudolph. So I think this is really cool. And I would absolutely enjoy doing that. And this would make for a great gift for other people to do. Because, yeah, you build it one day, maybe with your kid or with your spouse or whoever. And there's the Grinch in the middle. And then you put it on the tree. Really cool idea. But I just think it's too similar. Then we have the Milwaukee Art Museum Quadracci Pavilion. I think it's a chi sound that that's making. Maybe not. I don't know. By Marathon Dude. Another one. I would have put it on one of my top sets because it looks great. I have no clue. I've never been to Milwaukee, but I think that the building is super cool architecturally, and it folds closed. I don't know anything about this building, but that's awesome. I'm guessing maybe it folds closed at night, or maybe during the day. I'd imagine at night. The problem is I think this would fall into the architecture line, and that's going to be the case for some of these. It seems like an architecture build. You'd put the what is it, Milwaukee, this pavilion printed tile on there, and I think that's the problem with this. Is it is an architecture style building, so I think it does not get picked. Next up, we have the Open Reel-to-Reel Tape Deck by Zoe Lee. This could get picked. The reason I'm thinking maybe not is because Lego seems to be doing a lot of retro stuff on their own already, so I don't know if they're necessarily going to pick something that... It seems like it would be in Lego's nature to say, we're not going to pick that because we're going to make it ourselves. And then they would make it themselves, and it would not be this good because this is next level. And I would imagine these are, I don't know if they're prints or stickers or what that is in there. That's really, really cool. Like, this thing's awesome. And it's 2,600 pieces. So there's a ton of detail and just greatness going on in this. But again, I think Lego is doing their own kind of retro stuff these days, especially, I think they have not a phone. I mean, they have the 3-in-1 phone coming out, but they have something else coming out too. So that's the reason I think that they don't make this. Then we have the Whale Calf by Bricks Deloitte. I think this is really cool, and people would probably hate on this just like they hated on the Batman Shadow Box because it's a shadow box, even though this thing is cool. I really like it, and I would absolutely buy it because it's giving so much depth. As you can see, 5 layers of depth, and I think that's super unique. It can hang on the wall. Amazing job. I just don't see Lego has to look at these things from a sales standpoint too. And maybe there's just not a lot of whale fans. I don't know, but getting like the scuba diver and this whale, I think it's super good. I couldn't do this, and I couldn't build any of these, but really great job. Then we have the Great Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. And the reason I'm saying that this won't get picked is the same reason I said the other one, is because it seems like it goes in the architecture line, and this one does have the printed tile here like the architecture lines do. So I don't see Lego doing that. I mean, it would be smart because people would buy it. This is a great set. People have talked about this set and love it, and for good reason. And the issue is I just don't see I don't see Lego doing architecture sets at this point in BDP. I think it would upset some people because they would say, well, we have an architecture line, but I think it's great, and I would buy it. So Brick Belt, great job on this, and it's an amazing set. And I don't know if you can submit it to the ideas line. Like, I don't know if it falls into that either, but Lego should definitely do something like this. Out of This World Succulents. The reason is because they've done succulents in a way. They've done the little potted plants, and I think that this is similar enough to those, and with the botanical lines, that they're not going to do this. I would say this would be a really good way if you took the big one and maybe a couple other ones around here and made it into an ideas line GWP. I think that would be great, and I think it would work. And I think as a BDP set, I just don't see it getting picked. But I think that this would be a very popular, probably, GWP. Especially if it was this size, but that's a large GWP. Cut this in half, and yeah, this would be a $150 threshold GWP. So InnoWiki 10. I mean, cool idea, great job, and I think, again, ideas line GWP. I think that this would be great. The World Physical Map by Atlas Walk. He did a lot of the states. The reason I think this does not get picked is because they've done a world map. They had the globe. They've kind of gotten away from this art style in doing this, and that's simply the reason. I think it's cool, and I think the getting different states and having different instructions for different states, because he submitted more than just this, but this kind of encompasses all of those. Especially with some of the unique shaped states, like I'm in Indiana, there's Michigan, Wisconsin, like these kind of Illinois weird shapes. He did Colorado, but that's a square. So that's the only reason I think this doesn't get picked. I don't think Lego's doing this art style anymore, and they've kind of done some of this similar enough. We have the Amphitheater of Embercrest. Now, this is fantastical. It's not necessarily a real life thing, because there is like dragon fighting, but it is, right here, the dragon fight. They do have the gladiator games, the wolf pack. The reason I see them not choosing this is because it looks like an architecture set. They did the Colosseum, and from the outside, it looks like it would be an architecture set. I would absolutely buy this. Hands down, Design Ector. Great set. Really cool. Amphitheaters, especially like older times, when they were fighting in Colosseums. I think this is super good, and I think it's really cool. I just don't think Lego will do it. But if they do, count me in. I'm buying. City Fountain again seems like an architecture set. It's not, but they just did the Trevi Fountain. I don't know if they necessarily do another fountain and just have two on sale. Again, this I would put this in my city. I have a fountain that's not overly great in my city, and this would replace that because this is great and better than what I could have done. So Havoc, if this gets picked, again, like most, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy one of every BDP set anyways, but this one would slot into so many cities and look so great. We have the big chicken and waffles. The only reason I say no is because they're doing the Krusty Burger restaurant, and these would be releasing around the same time. Or no, they wouldn't. This would be way in the future because we're only on Series 8, and this is like a year and a half from now. But because Krusty Burger and this would look kind of similar, I don't know if they do it, but this is great. The chicken build is really cool. We need more restaurants like this in cities and for city builds. So, and I think I would argue this interior is better than the Krusty Burger. I don't watch Simpsons. I think that's what it's called. I think this interior is better. It feels more complete, less studs, but I just don't know if they compete with themselves necessarily. But I mean, most people would probably buy two if they're putting these in a city. We have the Milkweed and the Monarchs. They have the Insects line. Or not line, but the Insects build, and that's retiring this year. So maybe this could get picked because the Insect set will be gone. But I just wonder with botanicals and the insects and all that stuff, what they're going to do with it, because that was an ideas set, not BDP, not just traditional Lego. It was an idea set. So maybe this is more suited for the ideas line as well. And 692, if you figured out a way to make this smaller, could again be a great GWP. Everybody likes Monarch butterflies. They're very colorful, the most kind of common known butterfly. And yeah, really cool. So this is, by Logan Builds Bricks. Great job. 2 scoops of hot silver ball arcade. I just think that's too many little builds that would just feel very interesting if Lego picked it for BDP. I like all of them. I just went to an arcade recently, and this skee ball is great. I don't know that game. I'm not great at arcade games anyways, these are all pinball machines. Yep, more pinball machines. These are all great. They look really good. Basketball, my favorite arcade game. And yeah, which one's this? Like DDR. So really cool. Really like it. I just don't know if if they did this, I would make like, in Colorado, there's a place in Springs where they have like this penny arcade, and that's what this kind of gives me the vibes of. And I would make like an outdoor arcade area in my city, and this would definitely be there. And lastly, we have the Red Knight. The sole reason I don't think this gets picked is because it looks way too similar to the one that was just picked. This is Series 7 finalists, so this one's definitely getting picked. This one was submitted. There are differences aside from the color. The sails are built the same though, but this one has like a tilted sail. There's differences throughout this, but I think it looks, with all the cannons, there's a view of the back. So you have these windows and this kind of detailing work going on in the back. On this one, where's the back? Okay, so we have the windows and some detailing. I think it's far too similar to get picked. And this is a great set, and it would probably sell. But I think people would get really upset and just, I don't know, people like ships and people would buy it, but I think people would just be like, what's going on if this gets picked and something so similar gets picked right after it? Even the lifeboats right here, lifeboats right there, there's too many similarities for this to get picked. Not that it's a copy of it, but I think it's just too similar. So pirate ship build, this is a great looking set, very dark. And I think also with the Black Pearl coming out, I just don't know if they go this route, but it looks cool. And this might be a Pirates of the Caribbean reference here, maybe with the skeletons and stuff. Maybe not, it's just pirates. But great job. It's just probably not going to get picked because of that. I could be absolutely wrong about every single one of these, and they could all, like 5 of these could get picked. And again, like I said, I would buy them. All of these are ones that I would buy. So they're not, hey, these are sets I don't like and they're not getting picked. These are sets I like, I would buy, but I don't think will get picked because of certain reasons. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. If you agree, cool, let me know in the comments below as well. Or if you just have anything to say, just let me know. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.